So we're back today. I had put those nuts, a dozen nuts in here, shook it up, needed more I think, so I put another dozen and a half different sized between square and the normal octagon nuts, and gave her a shake. And now I was emptying them out into this. I was catching them as they go. And like I said, when it comes to counting them, still not one in there. Okay, now that's it. There's no more. So even if you miscount, put 13 in or put 11 in when they come out, you're like, oh no, I missed one, it's gone. Well, unless your solution is really strong and it ate it, you're good to go. So I put the solution in. I just dumped it out into my soak container that I soak my carb stuff in. Then I use the same solution. I let the particulates settle out, and then take it and move it to another container and clean the garbage out. If you're really concerned with pieces floating around in there, you could use, I don't think I have one here, but oh yes I do. You could use a paint strainer. This one's kind of beat up, but it hasn't been used yet. But this is just a paint strainer, and that'll take out, I don't know what the micron is, but that takes out any important garbage. So now I'm going to put a little of this back in this gas tank. Actually, right now we're got the nuts in there, so letting them drain, and then I'll dump them out onto a rag just to get the last few bits of moisture off before I put them back in the drawer. Okay, so now we'll put a little of this liquid in, and Lily's come to say hello. Actually, she says it's hot outside and she wants to lay on the cement floor here. Okay, so I've put a little of that in there. Now this is just to get some of the particulates and dirt and grime out of here that the nuts loosened up. So we'll give it a shake. Dump it back in. And it looked like a little bit of garbage came out. So now the next rinse I'm going to do is a little bit of gasoline, and now the gasoline I'll use as the little bit I'm going to add, it's the parts cleaner. It's going to go back into the parts cleaner, but it's over 70 degrees. Gasoline evaporates. If anybody didn't know that, if you put gas in a jug or jar and you leave it out in the open air, I believe it's 70 degrees. At 70 degrees, gasoline starts to evaporate. So if you put a glass of gas out in the sun at 100 degrees, when you come back, there's going to be less in it because it evaporated. So with that theory in mind, a little bit of gas that I'm going to put, it's probably 2 or 3 shots. Rednecks measuring shots, right? Alright, anyhow. The little bit of gas that I put into my power service cleaner, parts cleaner, carb soak, however you want to look at it, it's not gonna affect it. And probably if we measured it, like right now, it's just below this line. It's probably right there. I'll put the gas in here, and probably within the next day or two, it'll be back down to that because the gas evaporates. So that wasn't very dirty. Let's put the cover on. Now remember, gas builds pressure when you shake it, so keep your finger over this and then make sure you stop shaking and then release it. Let the air pressure come off without it being like towards your face. I'll show you what I mean. So I'll shake it like this, shake it upside down. I release that, and see how it sprayed out. And you think, oh no, it just dribbled out. It didn't. It sprays out. I don't know if you could hear that. It was shh like that. So give it a shake, stop, let it off. Okay. So cover came off, came looking a lot cleaner. This tank is probably, again, we're not going to put this tank into service and go mowing lawns for a living. We're just going to, you know, now all these nuts are nice and clean. We're just going to put a little bit of gas in it so we can run that motor. Anybody who, let's say, ends up with this motor could clean this better. And then there's a tank sealer that I used for the John Deere 2020. It actually covers holes and pinholes and rust, and it makes this like red plastic liner, and you never have to deal with it again. Essentially, it's plastic, and fuel and rust doesn't eat plastic the way that fuel and water eats metal. So, yes, let's take a look inside. Not real terrible. Not real great. Not real terrible. All right. You see. Let me try and turn the light on for you. Hold on. All right. If you look, trying to figure out where the camera is here. You can see that it's still rusty looking color-ish, but wrong direction, goofy. But I mean, it's still going to be better than it was, and the dirt is obviously not going to come out through that. So now we want to clip this piece off, make sure that fluid moves through here, this valve, and we can get that back in the tank. Alright, I don't think I have another one of those. Oh, Lily's huffy. She always, it's probably just the way that everybody breathes, but it just sounds like she goes, you know, like in exasperation. Cutters was the first thing I was looking for. There's that. Throw that away, and that comes right off. Throw that away. There is some gunk in here, and these do come apart, which I think is probably for the best. We have a look-see inside her. Okay, see, this is down now, and there should be sometimes a gasket there. Just keep turning. Yeah, it was stuck, but there she is. Lots of gunk. You can brush that out, clean this off. Yeah, this will work a whole lot better now because it had all kinds of gunk in these threads. Let's find our brass brush. There it is. It's warm out today. It's like literally 90 in the shade. There we are. Threads are cleaned up. Now we'll clean up the base just a little bit. The shut-off portion that's beveled goes up and seats in it. That's what shuts the fuel supply off. Okay, now we want to just clean out this little hole here just to make sure we have the best possible fuel flow. And I'm just using a drill. I just have an assorted set of drills. You know, they're all labeled here, but I just grabbed a size that I thought was going to be close. You don't want to go too big, but I'm using my hand, so it's not like I'm going to drill through it or make a problem like you are with a one of the holes in the carburetor, the jets. So this isn't going all the way in, which you should be able to see this drill. It's only going in to there, so there must be a little bit of a blockage a little further. I don't imagine it necks down that far there. So just turn it a little back and forth. Try not to get the garbage in the box. That's a lot better. I'm gonna cheat. I'll use the locker pinchers. Vice grips. I don't know who did it, but they came up with a great idea. Probably made a lot of money by now. Of course, they're lifetime. So if you find somebody that sells the vice grips rather, and you have a set that are bad, like here's a set here that that pin still, you can push it back in, but the spring here broke where it hooks from here back. It goes up into the handle in there. Yeah, you could probably get a spring and get these things working again, but these are lifetime warranty, guaranteed, blah blah, whatever. So you just take these in, and these are 7CR, I think is the model number. Yeah, 7CR is the part number, and they'll just hand you a new set and you're done. And then here's another set, had the same thing happen. These are the 5WRs. The spring almost is broke there, but it must have wore out. But again, you just hand these to the guys, they'll hand you a new set. I just haven't, I probably haven't remembered either, but I haven't gone to the store with that in mind. Normally when I go to the store, it's to get something that I need, not that I'm thinking about that. So now I'm gonna put this in and see if it actually makes it through. And I believe it seemed to have. You see the color difference there, just from cleaning some of the gunk off? That's crazy. Crazy, man. Okay, and then when you look through into this hole, you can see the light in here. Now if I blew, that there's a little liquid in there, so if I blow the liquid out, see it go away. That's nice and clean now. I was just giving it light air. Then you hold it up to the light, you can see right through there. You can blow through it this way, but essentially you're just blowing dirt down in there. So it doesn't do you any good, but unless of course it's light dirt, and then you blow the air down into here and then give it another soak and then blow the liquid, between the compressed air, the cleaning liquid, and the pressure of the air, it'll blow the dirt right out again, just like it did. And then I'm going to go through here, and it looks like she's good. Yeah, I believe I can see into there. Yep, I can see in there. So we're going to put this back together. And again, this is like there's like a crush washer down inside under this cap. That nut. It's like a rubber, sometimes leather. And when you screw this down onto this, it tightens it around this shaft, which makes it harder for this to turn and creates the seal that you obviously need to stop the gas from leaking there. So kind of like a two-fold thing. Okay, so we back that off loose, and then we'll snug this. Just snug, because tight's tight, broken's too fogging tight, right? Okay, so that's working again. So we'll leave it off so that we can put gas in it, it won't run out. We'll take our maid plug out. And these are tapered pipe threads, which means that it's smaller here than it is here. So you can put Teflon on there. Sometimes it doesn't seem to matter one way or the other, but I generally don't. And maybe some people will yell at me, but generally you tighten this in, it's not going to leak. Now, I mean, you could put some sort of sealant on there if you wanted, but, and again, I'm not putting this together for a customer that he's going to use every day. And he's going to go across his lawn and gas is going to drip and he's going to make nice little brown dots all the way down the yard, which is what will happen if you have a gas leak. You end up with a striped lawn, which is not the stripe that you want either. Okay, so when you're putting this back in, however, you want to make sure it's oriented, turned in the way that the hose comes out and either goes, like say this is the nozzle on the carburetor, it would come out and go to it. Or if this was this way and that was a nozzle, you'd want it to come out, either coming out and around and go to it or across. So with that being said, this goes inside this like that, and this goes on, I want to say it goes on like that. So essentially it's just about right below it, I believe. Let me put this back together real quick. And then you spread this little tab here. Spread that out, tank falls in. It's in there. And then there's two screws here. And again, they're different. One has got a concave looking head. Concave, convex, whatever. This one has got like a machine looking head. More flat than round, but thread pitch is the same, length is the same, so. Snuggy, 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 snuggy. Yep. Okay. So now let's go over here to this. I think I have to turn you guys around. Hold on. All right. So on this side of the carburetor, the far side, I believe this is the way that tank or the cover goes on there. Everything lines up that way. That's what you get for not paying attention when you don't take it, when you take it apart. Okay, so that's right. So that has to be, it's straight down. So probably if I take and point it this way, like towards this corner, let's see how that looks. It's definitely tight enough. So I pointed at that corner so that the hose is going to come out and go down and hook into that. And it looks like there's probably a more efficient way than that. But again, yeah, I think it's supposed to be completely turned around, because once it's setting down in there, literally the carb is here and, you know, the other one is here. It could be here, and so you would just put just like a 90. So I think I may turn that around a little further. There we go. And we want to be pointing almost dead at it. Like that. That's real close. I have it basically pointed. If you see my finger, okay. So here's the carburetor one. It's like this. I could turn it so that they line up, but the hose will just come out and go down. Again, I just want to make this thing go vroom and run for 5 or 10 minutes. That's the whole, that's it. That's the goal. Put the handles back on, take it out there, start it up. I'll even try and use the hand pull recoil starter. Now I don't know if I have all the parts to the on and off. It used to be you pulled up and down on it for choke and turned it to turn it on and off, but there was something missing. The choke lever was here that goes up and down, which is this one, so I can put that back in, but I think there was something missing, and I'll have to look into that. So let me get back to you. Alright, sorry. In the process of looking at the choke, I forgot you guys were hanging out somewhere else without me. So I had started these nuts in. There's 2 bolts rather here, 2 on this side, and I like to start them all 4 of them before you tighten them up, because you might tighten one up and then you won't be able to tighten the rest of them, kind of, you know. There's that. Let's grab a appropriate size wrench. 7/16. And this was a wrench here that was originally pretty short. Yeah, it was a stubby. That was a complete. And sometimes carburetors, you can't get a wrench in there, and so you need something that you can just turn. So I gave up one of these stubbies. Thank you back. Had a phone call. Talked to Dad. So tighten these up. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. I am missing a piece. This is pretty cool. This is the choke and on-off. Right now it says on right here. It says off right here. I'll show you in a sec. So that would be off, but I'm missing the parts that go underneath there. Some of them are there, but the other half are missing. But anyway, when it's off, you can't pull it up on choke, right? Okay, let me. So then if I turn it on, then when I pull it up, it pulls that choke lever up. Isn't that the neatest thing? And you can't shut it off on choke. You have to push it down, and then shut it off. And see there, it says off and on. I don't know if you can see it. I assume you can. Off and on. Choke. So, that's that. Now, I'm going to put this cover back on, which is just 3 bolts, and then I'll put gas in it, and we'll take it outside, and hopefully I'll have found a piece of hose. Got her outside, choke's on. One hand, maybe. Yeah. Maybe not. Over here. And we're missing a wheel or two. Isn't that something? 1960-ish, older than me. I know, that's crazy, isn't it? And then to shut it off, there was a switch. I hooked this wire to ground, any ground, so if we just ground that wire, and that is that. It lives. Stay safe. Bye-bye.